is my last broadcast on the Fox News Channel. And I want to thank you sincerely for watching every night. Tomorrow is going to be a very different show. I invite you to tell a friend and make sure that you're here. Tonight, I wanted to cover these last three things. One, Israel is the key. You must stand by Israel and recognize what it means spiritually, politically, and to the West. Second, be prepared and aware. Make sure you know what's going on, but be prepared to be a lifeboat for others. And the last one is trust, but verify. Tonight I wanted to share some of the lessons that I have learned about the television and media while being a part of it. I've been inside the belly of this beast for 5 years now. Before here I was over at CNN. And while I tell you, there are a lot of decent people in this business, the fact is, most, if you look at the whole landscape of the media in newspapers and all of it, most, I believe, are dead inside. This isn't something that I believed 2 years ago. It is now. And to be charitable, I think most media people got in thinking that they would change the world. They were idealistic, but along the way, they got bitter, ugly, and actually grew dead inside because they were convinced that they couldn't change the world. They lost their way because they had to come up through the ranks, and they saw focus groups and everything else. I didn't have that problem. That's what made me unique. As far as TV goes, I just appeared. I didn't know anything about. I knew my first live television show was on this network 2 years ago. It was The Parade. Remember, it was my second. Remember that, Harry? It was my second day on the air, and I went, I've never done a live show. Okay, here we go. Could be dicey. I came up through the entrepreneurial spirit of talk radio, where the person on the air is who they are. They can't fake it for 3 hours every day. You hear through it. I was the creation I wanted to be. I didn't have to go through local news and then have to send out tapes and move to a bigger market and have this person program me and this person program me and this person filter me and then put me through a census, a focus group. I never did. I've been who I am every day. Now, there are a few people, like Bill O'Reilly, who, I mean this sincerely, has been my best friend in media, a man I trust, and I believe you should as well. He is a good, decent man. He's very fortunate. He came through the ranks, but he is such a strong personality. You're not going to tell Bill what to do. You're just not. He'll do what he believes is right. Most people don't ever get to that place because they lose themselves, and the only way you get to that place is if you know exactly who you are. I believed when I got into television I could make a difference. I hope in some small way I have. Coming from talk radio, it's easy to stay in touch with actual thinking and feeling Americans every day. But I never realized until I got here that this is a pattern in all media. I've seen it at NBC, I've seen it at ABC, I've seen it all over. There are common sense answers everywhere. But just like the politicians, media execs don't listen to the common sense answers. The people who have the common sense answers are standing here behind the cameras. Can you please pick them up on 6? These guys. Jack is our sound guy. Jack, I said to you day number 1. What did you think of that? Right? Yeah, sure. I said that to the whole crew. Harry, I remember you. You're a damn near expert on the Middle East. You correct my spelling on Khalifa all the time. You learned everything from me, right? These guys, they're a captive audience. They're regular people who basically come in and punch a time clock every day. They're literally forced to watch this show every day. We pay them to do it, and we never ask their opinion. It's crazy. I did. I have. I had no idea in this position that that's not done. It should be. The media has lost its way because it doesn't recognize the value of the average citizen anymore. The people who are riding the subways. That's why they regulate the internet, quite honestly, because they are terrified that you will figure it out and tell the truth. Washington doesn't even recognize the truth. Rather than searching for truth and answers, the vast majority of media today is just out to fulfill an agenda, whether they even know it or not. The media's heyday came when they were responsible directly to you. The problem is that their only responsibility now is to these giant corporations that see the world many times in a different way, not a bad way per se, just because they're a giant corporation. But they see it in a different way than I think you do. I tell the audience every time they come in that you may like to watch television, just like I like to eat sausage, but you never really want to see it made. You don't. It's really bad. Everything's dumped in, and when it comes out in its little casings, it looks a lot different. You're like, is that a piece of a shoe? That's not good. Do you know why the Fox personalities wear flag pins, or why so much of Fox is red, white, and blue? I believe it's because CNN, and I know this because I worked over there, decided to embrace their global international self. They're not Americans. They're above it. They're members of the globe. They're objective observers from the international community. Bull crap. This is the country that gave you that opportunity. So it's not about you or about the way you view things. It's about one group of people that see things as internationalists, and you're just somebody who can access their product. You're just another market to them. Now, Fox is also a global corporation. But they decided from the beginning of this network, it's about America. That's what it is. Fox is not neutral on that. That's why they appeal to you. Today, I got into the elevator today and they have those little TVs that, you know, we all watch so we don't have to look at each other, I guess. And when I saw the Apple earnings in China for the first quarter, matching all of last year, I think actually, wasn't it quadrupling? It was some ridiculous stat. I thought to myself, America, kiss Apple goodbye. You're a dwindling market. China is growing. Nobody wants American market anymore. You're a secondary market, and that is the problem. You want it, your town, your local media, but the elites, Washington, and the media, have decided that the globe is more important. They have already made the change. I told you a long time ago there would be a time that they would try to push you bigger. They would say, this doesn't work, let's go global. We are quickly approaching that time. And what you have is a media that only cares about ratings and sponsors and corporate shareholders, and everything they do is for those things. Don't get me wrong, I'm a capitalist. You must do some of those things. Why do you think I threatened to chainsaw a bunny rabbit? I'm not a stupid guy. There's nothing wrong with profit. There's nothing wrong with ratings. But it has to be balanced in a bigger picture. In the addition to the motivation of making a living, I also believe that it is equally important that there still must be a guiding principle or a set of values and principle. 912 Project, ring a bell? Things that you will not violate for profit or anything else, even your own life. What is the right thing to do? We used to agree on those things. Sadly, it isn't the case anymore. And it's not just the media. I'll show you how it came about next.